I'm with eXp Realty, and today I'm with Rick Eickmeier with Anytime Fitness. How are you doing, Rick?
Good. How are you doing?
Hey, doing good. So I work out over at Rick's studios, and so tell me, Rick, tell me more about yourself. Where are you originally from?
So I'm originally from Nebraska. Yes, I'm a Cornhusker guy. I grew up in Nebraska, central Nebraska, graduated from Kearney High School in Kearney, Nebraska. I played small college football for Kearney State College, and made it over here after a series of jobs and transfers. Went to work for Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company right out of college.
Okay.
Moved 8 times in 11 years with them, and that's how I ended up here. I went from
8 times.
Yeah, several places in Nebraska. I was in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, which I love Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Rochester, Minnesota, and then finally here into La Crosse. That's how I ended up here.
How long have you been here in La Crosse?
25 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what was the decision of opening up a gym in these areas?
It really wasn't about opening up a gym. I've always had in my bucket list, I want to own a business. I want to be a business entrepreneur. I wanted to own my own enterprise. And I worked in the corporate world for 27 years through a variety of different things. Goodyear, as I already mentioned. I also spent a significant amount of time with US Cellular and learning a lot about just leadership and staffing and managing people and working with people, and really grew a lot with that organization. And after 12 years, I came to the realization that it wasn't as fun as it used to be, and I was looking for a change.
Sure.
So one day I went home and talked to my wife and said, I'm ready for a change. And she says, go for it. And so I left US Cellular. I had no plan, no clue of what I was going to do. And at that point, I started delving into the world of entrepreneurship. And what's out there, what's available, what do I want to do? A very good friend of mine had recently become an entrepreneur in Colorado, so I picked his brain on a lot of things, what he was doing. And what he was doing wouldn't work here. But started searching for businesses in the area, and Anytime Fitness in Alaska, which had been open for a couple of years, was for sale. Okay. The owners of this business also owned a couple in the Twin Cities, and they were looking to expand up there, but sell this one so they could spend more time up there. And so I went to start researching the corporation. They were based up in Hastings, Minnesota at the time, and really liked their culture and their philosophy. And the philosophy being more about the member's experience is the most important thing, in this industry. It's not about the membership dues. It's not about things like that. It's about the experience that the member has when they're in your facility, and whether they are happy, whether they're having fun,
sure,
or whether it's a chore and a job. And we want to turn it into fun.
Right.
We want you to want to come work out in our clubs. And I really like that. I met the founders of Anytime Fitness, the owners of this club, very nice, very personable. And so I said, I'm going to buy Anytime Fitness.
How long did it take about from the time that you learned about the franchise to the point of when you actually bought in and said, I'm going to do this?
Started looking at it about January of 2012, and I closed on this club on May 1st. So I've owned this club now for 8 years.
Okay. So that's the Onalaska location, and you also have a second location in West Salem.
West Salem.
And how long has that been open?
I opened that one in 2015. So this one I bought existing, so it had already been built. It was 2 years old. Had a client base. West Salem I built from the ground up.
Okay.
So a little bit different experience with that.
And so what made you choose doing West Salem, knowing you already had an existing location here? What, you could come to La Crosse, you could go to Homan, you could go, why West Salem?
I had noticed the location West Salem shortly after I bought this club, and I knew that one club would not be my end. I wanted to own multiple facilities and businesses in the area. I talked with different Anytime Fitness owners who had multiple clubs, kind of learned what their philosophy was and how they researched space, and really came down to finding the right location. I looked in La Crescent, I looked in South La Crosse, I looked in Holman, I looked in Galesville, I looked in a lot of different locations, but really when it came down to it, West Salem and that location really was the most appealing to me at that time.
Sure.
Great visibility, a lot of traffic going along Highway 16, windows for just natural lighting, and the space just drew me to it.
And there's no other gyms in West Salem right now?
No, not at this time.
Yep. So what's been one of your biggest surprises since opening your business? What's been like the biggest sticker shock, I guess, maybe the franchise didn't tell you about?
Good question. And I've thought a lot about this. You always heard about you wear so many hats as a business entrepreneur. You wear every hat, and it is true. When I left U.S. Cellular and I ran a territory, I was managing a team. I was managing several different stores and overseeing locations. But it was a completely different environment. Coming here, the buck stops with me, and I'm responsible for everything. But I'm also the one that, one day I'm cleaning a toilet. The next day I'm fixing a machine. The next day I am figuring out a marketing plan. And I understand that I don't have to be the smartest person in the world for everything. My strength, I think, is that I'm blessed to know a lot of people, and I can call on a lot of people, not only within Anytime Fitness, but also from my previous experiences that will give me guidance on how to do things. Facebook marketing. I'm a hands-on guy. Techie stuff, I'll figure it out. But I can go to someone who can teach me how to do a Facebook ad or how to create an Instagram or things like that, and surround myself with people that are smarter than me in those things.
And I would think that anybody within the industry reaching out, you guys have camaraderie, that people you can reach out to that are the franchisees, owners, and that you can talk to that can help you out as well.
Absolutely, and that has been one of the most surprising things too, is how free people are with information.
That's great.
There's a club owner that has 30 clubs, and I'll call him up, and I went down and actually worked in one of his clubs for a day. But then I can call him up and I can say, so how do you do this? And he'll have his team send me their whole book on it. No questions asked, just because he is interested in wanting to make sure that the Anytime Fitness as a whole family succeeds.
Sure.
And that is cool.
So that's interesting. So knowing that you have two, do you have goals to have 20 clubs? I mean, what's your
I don't know.
what's maybe the end game?
I don't know yet. It's still a day at a time. Am I done? No, I'm not done.
Yeah.
I'm looking for another location right now.
Yeah.
Where it's going to be, I don't know. Being from Nebraska, does it give me an excuse to go to Nebraska? Maybe.
Oh.
International,
keeping global options open. You never know, right?
You never know what adventure, the path that life could take me. I just don't know.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
All right. How about this? What's an odd request that you've received from a client or a customer that's come in? And it being Jim, I don't know, somebody asking you to be some Speedos and go do a workout or something, anything that
I haven't
fun?
gotten anything that fun yet. I don't know if there's been anything really. I'm sure there are. If I thought back into it, I'm sure there are some. People want a sauna. Well, we can't have a sauna in here, or they want me to put a pool in, or or tracks, or basketball courts, or you get those types of things, and that's not how we're set up to function.
Sure.
We've had requests for maybe kids 8 or 9 years old, and they're just not ready yet to come into a facility like that. They're still developing.
Right.
And so we try and shy away from that and help the parents understand why we don't do things.
That makes sense.
Every day is childcare. No, we don't do childcare either, but we'll certainly give you some names, some places you can go.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Stuff like that.
What do you do to motivate and encourage your staff? And especially with everything that's happened now with this whole virus and opening back up slowly again, I guess right now more than anything that's a challenge. How do you get them back and motivated to get things rolling again?
I think communication is key, and just talking to them. What motivates them? What do they like to do? And most of my staff are part time.
Mm-hmm.
So that a couple of them are college students. A couple of them have other jobs. I try and be as flexible as I can with their schedule. I want them to have fun coming in here and working out. I want them to have fun coming in and understanding, what it takes to grow relationships.
Sure.
Well.
Yep.
And that's really what it's about. Again, I mentioned this already. The most important factor that I have is that I want members to have fun and feel wanted and special in here.
Yep.
That's why we say hi to everybody when they come in the door. That's why we try and go out and engage them in a conversation while they're here. We want them to understand that we're recognizing them coming in. And even with my staff, I try and send them text messages. I try and communicate with them. I try and just find out, what's going on in their life personally.
Sure.
And want to know what's going on, and then what can I do to help them.
Sure. Going back to doing some more local things, what's couple of your favorite restaurants in town?
I don't want to make anybody mad.
No, you can't.
Love
and there's a lot of great places in this town, and so let's pick the healthier one, and let's pick the guilt one. Just to make it fair, and so that way then, and there's no favorites, but at the same time, La Crosse, there's a lot of restaurants on Alaska everywhere around this area, but you got to pick two.
Okay. Crooked Pint is a great place to go.
Oh,
I
okay.
love the Crooked Pint.
All right.
My wife enjoys going there. It's and Red Pines is great. I know the owners of Red Pines, and they have great food.
The cheeks down there are pretty good.
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah.
Fancy dining. Freight House. There's nothing wrong with Freight House. It's good. I like a good.
It's been around a long time. It's a staple in the town. Yeah.
A little healthier. Panera. A good salad from Panera is good.
Yep.
Also, Lindy's Subs. They have a great salad over there, and also some healthy sandwiches. Or you've got the Hearty Platter, and things like that. So a lot of great places.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
Not
but
at all.
It's one of those things
No,
where we got to have our favorites, right?
I could name 25 restaurants that I like going to, just whatever mood is. My wife mentioned pizza tonight, so maybe pizza.
Sure. Well, a couple last questions. What's the most memorable thing that somebody's ever told you, or like maybe an accomplishment somebody has done in the gym, or just in general in the business that has been an inspiration to you, or just that's really stuck out to you as like a moment?
That's pretty easy actually. When I first bought the clubs, when I first bought this club, I got to know the members in it, and I had one member in particular who had joined not too long before I joined up. She's a teacher with the Onalaska School District. Her routine was to come in and work out every morning before she went to school. She lives in the West Salem area. That's before that club was open. So she would come over here and work out, and then she would shower and go teach for the day. One day we were talking, and she had missed a day in 2 years. She was over 700 days that she had worked out straight. Christmas morning, she's here early in the morning before her kids were up to come in and exercise, and then she'd go home. She went over 1,000 days. But that was inspirational to me. That person was so dedicated and so in tune with what they wanted to do, and it showed. And that was part of her routine, and to come in and exercise. So and she's still going today.
As the saying goes, you got to eat the worm.
Yeah.
And for her, that was her worm, and she needed to get that workout in and make that part of her day. And
Absolutely.
that's gym life.
Yeah.
That's really trying to make sure that it's a priority to get in and do your exercise, feel good, all that kind of good stuff. So what is the best way for anybody to get a hold of you if they're interested in joining the gym or just asking you questions?
Call the clubs, email the clubs. My cell phone number is easy too. I'm around all the time. But if you do call me, especially on my cell phone, leave a message because I may not answer it, and just go from there. You mind if I give my cell phone out?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's 608-792-5003. That's probably the easiest way to get hold of me, or text me. Just tell me who you are if you're texting me. But I will get back to you. It may take me a day or so, but I will get back to you. I love talking to people. That's my favorite thing to do.
I love it. Rick, Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hey, if you guys got any other questions for Rick or about what I'm doing here with the business spotlighting, you can go to the Park Bench website, find more information about Rick and his clubs, and we'll be talking to more of you soon. Thanks so much.
Have fun.